Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we've got a Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card that's looking into the past, trying to process the ending of something, trying to understand like how to wrap something up or why something ended. And this feels like it's kind of a long, drawn-out process. I feel like there's something in your life that you're trying to end, or you're trying to understand why it needs to end, and we're still emotionally connected. It's just, we're having a difficult time sort of pulling our energy apart from something and just finally being done with it. Finally having it sort of out of our lives, not affecting us anymore, not feeling attached to it. Okay, let's find out. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. We have a Princess of Swords. We're asking questions about it. We have a Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Eight of Cups. Well, that really shows the story, doesn't it? I think it's part of the path of life that you're on. I think there was something that you loved, and it's something that maybe you had to walk away from, or it had to walk away from you, or there was a separation between you and this thing. It could be a person, it could be a job, it could be an animal. And I think right now you're trying to sort of understand why it happened, what it was, what it meant, and where we're going to go from here. Four of Pentacles. We're going to be okay. Here we have a Three of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, wow, Seven of Pentacles, and a Seven of Cups. Okay. I wonder, now that we're looking at these cards a little bit closer, I wonder if this is something that you're considering walking away from. Maybe you're having a difficult time, like, convincing yourself that you need to, or coming to that decision, or even realizing that walking away from something is going to lead to better things for you. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top, ASMR for short. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down beneath the video. Okay. Now, let's look around the room. We don't see any majors today. What we see is, we don't see any fire. What we see is water, 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 earth, 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 and a little tiny bit of air. Okay, so this is really about the emotions and the sort of physical reality and the processing of the emotions, the understanding, the depth of emotion, the emotional wisdom, right, with the Queen of Cups. Listening to the intuition, recognizing what it is that we're truly feeling. I think you're a very sensitive person. I think that you feel other people very deeply. You don't always need to absorb their emotions, though. Okay? You need to be calm in your decisions right now and in your choices and in the next moves that you make. Okay? There's some deeper emotional insight that's emerging here. And you're trying to slow down and listen to those deeper layers of yourself. I think that right now there's a need for self-care. There's a need for radical self-love, self-empathy. There's a need for you to protect yourself and set up some boundaries, some emotional boundaries, so that you can feel safe and stable and secure in your life. Okay? This is a card of emotional intelligence. I think that this is the card, coupled with our Princess of Swords, we're kind of asking that question, would I be better off somewhere else? I think there's something inside of you that is kind of calling you to get back out there and keep looking, you know? It doesn't have to be romance. It could be. It could be a friendship. It could be a job. It could be something that you really thought you wanted, and you did want it. Now that Princess of Swords is kind of asking the questions, getting curious and wondering, would I be better off somewhere else? Would my life be easier, more stable, more successful, more lucrative in a different place, with a different person, doing something different, etc.? We're seeking the truth. We're asking those questions. Okay? The mind is waking up. The feelings are all over the place. Really, they are. So the mind now is trying to really have that conversation with your heart and say, what the heck is going on here? We've got love, but we've got this kind of toxic, we've got this swampy energy, this toxic energy, or we've got the love here, we've got the urge to merge with something, but yet we also have all these other options out there. We have this draining of our emotional energy. So I feel like the emotions are kind of all over the place here, and the Queen of Cups with that Princess of Swords trying to figure out what's really going on. You know, how do you really feel here in this situation? You're not trying to rush to any kind of conclusions. You're kind of trying to gather information and ask the right questions. Okay? Trying to communicate with your heart here to try to find out what it is that you are really, truly looking for and what the next move really should be. What is the move that's going to lead you to safety, security, stability, integrity? Okay? Well, first we go down here, we have this 9 of Pentacles. This is independence. This is a card of comfort, achievement, pleasure. This is you feeling as if you can stand on your own 2 feet. This is you knowing that you're self-sufficient. Okay, so if we're talking about maybe a friendship or even a work thing or even a romantic relationship, you don't need it. You can be totally fine without it. So we don't have to have that sort of like codependence with it, right? Or maybe it's just dependence, not even codependence. You're not dependent on that other thing for your well-being. You've got independence. You're self-sufficient. In other words, you're perfectly fine being single. You don't need that person to make you feel whole or make you feel complete or make you feel stable. Okay? You can support yourself. Does that make sense? So with this kind of independence and this kind of even an ambition really too, right? To cultivate the life that you want to live a successful life. You know, to enjoy what you've earned, to celebrate yourself, to celebrate your autonomy, to build a life that you could be proud of, that you can enjoy. This is what you want. This is what's down under the surface. This is in your heart. At your core, this is the life you want to live. But then what we see up top is the 8 of Cups. And that's not it. That's not the same, right? This is Saturn in Pisces. This is something that is restricting your happiness. It's limiting your joy and pleasure. Okay? And I think the realization here is that you don't need this. In fact, this is draining energy away from you. This is diminishing your happiness rather than increasing it. So the Nine of Pentacles really is this is what you need to recognize about yourself. That you can stand on your own 2 feet, that you are independent, you are self-sufficient, you are autonomous, that you're perfectly capable of walking your path and building your life, cultivating your life. This is gain, this is progress, this is growth. And this is achievement. You're perfectly capable of achieving all the things you want in life by yourself if you need it. Of course, you want to be with somebody. You know, you got the Two of Cups back here, and I think that this was a situation that, when it first started, it was very positive. It was very mutual, very reciprocal, very uplifting. Okay? It was very harmonious. There was a lot of affection. It was a meaningful thing. There was a lot of strong, bonding energy. I almost wonder if you looked at it this way, but the other person wasn't really what they claimed to be. Okay? I kind of feel like somebody didn't uphold their end of the bargain here. Does that make sense? I felt like you were really hopeful. You were really looking at it as being like, this is it. This is perfect. This is great. But I think as time went on, you are starting to see the truth. This isn't the one. I thought it was the one, but it's not the one. Okay. And maybe you were prioritizing this relationship, but maybe the other person wasn't. Maybe at first we were just kind of glamorized by it. We had fallen in love with it, whether it's the job, the friend, the romantic partner, okay, whatever it may have been. I think you're starting to realize that, okay, it's kind of wearing off a little bit here. I think you're starting to see something for what it really truly is or was. I think that you were putting in all the work in this relationship, not getting enough out of it. Maybe the two of you didn't have the same goals. Or the other person or the company maybe wasn't willing to put in the effort to kind of match you with that effort. Didn't care as much about you as you cared about it or them. Okay? Because this is a mutual interest. This is, reciprocity. I think somebody didn't really meet you halfway. Yeah. Now, the Eight of Cups is up here too. This is what we're really starting to see. The need to move on. I think you're maturing emotionally. I think you're ready for a departure. Something no longer is fulfilling you. It doesn't mean what it once meant to you. It's okay. You're realizing it's okay to walk away from something that's trying to diminish you. Saturn in Pisces, something that's making your life a little bit less fun, a little bit less tolerable. Something that's squeezing some of the life out of you. It's squeezing away all hope. You don't have to stay there. It's okay to walk away. You can leave quietly, no guilt. Having closure and that emotional maturity inside of you that says, I'm allowing myself to walk away. And even the Princess of Swords is one of these cards for me that gives us, this is us giving ourselves permission to be wrong. I thought that was the person. I thought this was my soulmate. I was wrong. That's okay. It's okay. What's not okay is to be so proud that we're not going to admit we're wrong and we're going to force ourselves to stay in a shitty situation. Pardon my language. That's not okay. Making mistakes is okay. I make mistakes 10 times every minute. I mean, that's a lot. It's okay as long as we can admit that and say, yeah, you know what? I thought it was something else. It's not what I was expecting. It's not what I wanted. I got to move on. Maybe it's us going to our boss and saying, you know what? I thought this was something different. My bad. But I got to go. Okay? And maybe it's just us admitting that to ourselves and saying, you know what? I thought that person was perfect, but boy, was I wrong. That's all right. I made a mistake. No big deal. Okay? As long as we can say that, then we can walk away from this. This is about you honoring your inner truth. You know it to be true. You don't have to stay here just because you don't want to admit that you were wrong or you made a mistake or that, you know, you were I don't know, glamorized by something. You got to honor that inner truth. You got to allow for your own evolution here. You don't have to stay in that thing. Once you release that, then the new chapter can begin. And you don't really need all the answers. I know that Princess of Swords is trying to have that conversation, but we don't want that to devolve into just over-analysis or just even rationalizing or making excuses. Meanwhile, we stay in this unpleasant or unhealthy even situation. Okay. I feel like, in essence, you've already left. It's just time for you now to let your body kind of catch up with that. Yeah. And the Four of Pentacles is in your immediate future. This is stability. This is, you know, a solid foundation for life. This could be you, it could be you moving to your own place, okay, getting your own apartment, your own house. It could be you walking away from that unpleasant job or career and saying, you know what, I'm okay. I still have a solid foundation. I have some money saved. I'm not worried about anything right now. This is a temporary place. This is like you've got an emergency fund. Okay? So even if you decide you need to leave your job, maybe there's something more significant going on here that I'm not picking up on. Okay? There's a chance that it is a very toxic situation. And so, yeah, maybe you're just going to quit. And you're going to say, okay, I've got some money saved. I can pay the bills for a little while I get something more lucrative. While I get something that's going to be a better fit. Okay? But the point of the Four, anyway, is that we're safe. We're not worried about, like, you know, the sort of basic needs. I've got water, shelter, food, and fire. I'm okay. It's a temporary stability. We're going to have to, this is where we go to regroup and say, okay, I'm here. I got enough money in the bank that I can pay the bills for a couple months. So now I've got a month to figure something out. But in this situation, we're not under threat. Nothing's happening. We're safe. That's the point. Where there's a structure here, there's security. Okay? And this is where you go to sort of regroup yourself and get centered again and figure out, okay, what's the plan? Where do we go from here? Okay? And it could be that this is what you're waiting for. Maybe this is something where you say, well, look, I got to give it another couple weeks so I can save a little money, and then I can go. Then it'll be safe for me to leave. Okay? Maybe this is you feeling it's not safe until you leave. Go to a friend's house, go to your family's house, whatever, right? Make yourself safe. The next move for you, the immediate way forward, Cancer, is to make sure you're safe. To get to a safe position physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's number one priority. Okay. And then, that's your home base. And from here, you're going to figure out where to go next and what to do next. Yeah. Now, I want you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. All right. Leave a comment and let me know you're safe. Let me know which aspect of this path of the dove seems to resonate with you the most. Now, your general energy is the Three of Pentacles. It's work, developing your skills, teamwork. This is building up your craft. This is you getting good at what you're doing. Okay? Maybe collaboration. This is you getting to work. I kind of feel like even though we got a lot of cups here, we got a lot of pentacles too. I wonder if this is really a situation where you really don't like the job you're doing. That it's not a good environment. Maybe it's not paying you what you're worth. Maybe it's not supportive of you. Maybe it's like you thought it was going to be really, really great and it's terrible and you want out of there. Okay, good. Get out of there. But do it in a way that's smart. Make sure that you have enough money saved up where you can, you can pay the bills for a while you find something better. Or even, let's say, let's stay where you are now temporarily. Let's use it as a little bit of security while you go out there and look for better work. While you level up your skill set or something like that so you can get the higher paying job. Okay? Don't leave what you have now if it's tolerable. Stay where you are now, stack up some cash, and then go. Okay? This is that card of work. You're ready to work. And you want to be, I think, you want to be compensated for the work that you do. Now, if this is romantic, okay, for some of you, that's going to be the romantic situation. Feels like you were not appreciated for how much you actually did in the relationship. I feel like you put in a lot of effort into that thing, but they did not. And you don't have to stay there until something better comes along, right? That's okay with career and job and employment, not okay in relationships. Don't stick around this relationship until something better comes along. Go and stand on your own 2 feet. Okay? I wonder if this is a little bit of both for some of you, where you're in a situation where maybe you're living with somebody, maybe you're living with family, maybe you're living with a romantic partner. I feel like you're capable of being by yourself. Okay, with that 9 of Pentacles down there, I feel like you have that independence in you. You can do it. I wonder if there is more of an emotional reason why we're just kind of scared to go out on our own. Okay. Maybe it's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet and get away from whatever relationship is giving you this kind of maybe a false sense of security. Okay. It could be a family situation. I don't know if there's an older female energy. If this is you, maybe you're still living at home. Maybe maybe you're staying with somebody right now. You have the means to be by yourself and to do something on your own. And I would say do that unless there's a very good reason why you should stay here for a little while longer. I don't know if you need to save some money or if you're looking for a new place or something like that. You don't have to go and be homeless just to get away from these people. Okay, so you need to be smart about your choices here. But I do wonder if is there something going on with your mom or something. Because I kind of feel like there's this parent-child dynamic, and maybe it's just a situation where you feel that somebody is trying to mom you or be your parent rather than your equal. Maybe the 2 of Cups is just saying that, look, this is a family thing, and there's a lot of love there, but not when y'all live together. Yeah. So I feel like there is this need for independence. There's this general theme of you getting out there and getting out on your own and doing things your way, living your life the way you want to. You're perfectly capable of that. And whether it is has to do with job or employment or money or the living situation. You have everything that you need. And you're willing to do the work, and you're willing to build, you're willing to put in the effort to build up your life, The Ten of Pentacles here is the long-term goal. It's your best life. This is the life you want. This is wealth, okay? Whether it's financial wealth, family, home, whatever you want your life to look like. Now, in terms of a relationship, I feel like the two of you don't have the same vision of the future. You're looking at the future, you're seeing the wallpaper and the color of the shag carpet and everything, the furniture. I feel like your vision of life is different than theirs was. Okay, there's incompatibility there. Okay. I feel like this is also, this is kind of like as far as finances go or employment, I feel like this is you realizing that there is a better pathway for you to get to your goal than the one you're on. Okay, this is a long-term stability. This is even maybe like you want a employment, or you want a job that, not just a job, that's a career. You want something, you want to be somewhere where you can grow, where you can keep working your way up the ladder, where you can keep earning more and having more responsibility and expanding into this life, into this career, rather than just a job and it's limited and this is like salary cap, and no, there's no room for growth. There's no upward mobility. You don't want a job where there's no ladder to climb, because then your income is stuck at a low level. Yeah. So I kind of feel like that's part of this too, that you thought maybe you were promised, oh yeah, this is great and you can earn as much as you want, and you get there and it's just like peanuts. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Maybe you do it for now until you can level up and find something better, But this is the future. This is the vision of the future that you want. And regardless of the situation, whether it's family, whether it's romance, whether it's career and finances, the situation you're in now does not have the future that you want. Okay? It does not share your vision of the future. So really, the problem in the Seven of Pentacles is the failure. This is Saturn and Taurus. Saturn over here too, okay? So Saturn and Taurus is basically, this situation is keeping you small. This is a situation that you've either already outgrown or you will very soon outgrow it. Like you can see the future and you can just say, I know in 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to hit the wall in this job and there's going to be nowhere to go. I don't want to stay here. You have the gift of foresight. You have the gift of being able to see into the future and thinking, I don't like where this is headed. So it's important that you start considering how you're going to level up your life now, rather than waiting until you reach that point where either it's like the contract is over or you've maxed out on the salary and the wages, and it's just like there's nowhere else to go. Then you're going to have to start figuring things out. Might as well start planning for that now, right? Saturn in Taurus, it's keeping you small. It's a restriction. It's a limit on how big you can grow. And it may be you were promised something great. Nope. You're in a birdcage. You're in a fishbowl that's too small for you. You're wearing shoes that are too small. You got to go find some bigger shoes to fill. Yeah. That Saturn energy is squeezing. It's just like there's a restriction. There's a limiter on your growth in this situation. Spiritually, emotionally, could be financial, could be career, whatever it is. If it's a romantic partnership, it's a partner that you've outgrown. Staying in this situation is going to keep you small. And the final card, of course, is our Seven of Cups. This is now an undeniable kind of toxic energy that you're realizing that there is a kind of a sinking feeling, a quicksand. There's a toxicity here. That you don't want to linger in this. Okay? This is the point where your current situation becomes intolerable. Here, there's a little bit of life left in it. I can suck it up for a couple more days or a week or whatever. Here is saying, nope, I can't anywhere but here. In the Seven of Cups, any option seems like a better option. You know? And we can think of all sorts of analogies for that, but basically this card is saying there are a lot of options out there. There's a lot of choices. And I think when you get to this point, any other choice is going to seem good because we're desperate. We're going to take the low-hanging fruit. So the idea is to plan your moves now. Make those moves now while you still have a little bit of runway left. Maybe you still have a little bit of cash, you still have a little bit of time, or the situation is still a little bit tolerable. Make your decisions now while you still got some runway. If you wait till the last minute, you're going to have to take whatever the heck is there, even if it's bad, because you need something. Does that make sense? That's why we're doing it in an 8 of Cups, not in a 7 of Cups. To me, the 7 of Cups is way worse than the 8 of Cups. Okay. So we do it here, and maybe that's the 4 of Pentacles too. We make our plans now while we are not in crisis. Okay. While things feel like they're somewhat stable, that's when we plan and make our moves, and that's when we figure out what we're going to do, rather than waiting until things are just dire. Because then we have to choose whatever's being offered. We have to just pick the easiest thing to pick, and then it's just kind of like we're jumping from one sinking ship to the next. We don't want to do that. Let's look at the mystery card. I want a 6 of Swords. That's it. All right. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, the Ace of Swords. That was pretty close. This is certainty. This is divine inspiration. This is like, I have all the answers I need. I'm trusting my intuition. I know what to do. Because in the relative stability of the 4, I've made a decision. I've come to that. I'm not in crisis. So I can pause for a beat, and I can listen to my intuition here. And I can gain that clarity. When you're in crisis, you can't wait for clarity. You got to just do, you got to just go. You got to just jump out of the frying pan, probably right into the fire. But if we say, okay, the boat's not sinking yet. I've got a little bit of time. What do I need to do? And we can breathe and we can figure it out. And the answer will come to you. And I think you know beyond the shadow of a doubt the right thing to do. And you're doing it while you can do it purposefully and intentionally and with discernment, rather than having to just jump into the next sinking ship. Okay, clarity here. I like this. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment to let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.